Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're unpacking the absolute ultimate insider's playbook for surviving extreme climates and protecting your home cooling systems. We're going to zoom right in on the intense environment of San Marcos, Texas, to show you what it really takes to keep your AC alive when Mother Nature turns the heat way, way up. And more importantly, we'll look at how doing this right protects both your daily comfort and your wallet. All right, let's jump right in. I want to anchor our whole conversation today on one crucial number, and that number is 8. 8 represents the gruelingly long 8-month cooling season faced by residents in places like San Marcos. From April all the way through October, your system is essentially running a marathon without a single water break. When your air conditioner is operating under that kind of constant, unrelenting thermal load, the standard rules of maintenance just go right out the window. So, to make sense of all this, we're going to follow a really clear roadmap today. First, surviving the Texas heat. Second, the anatomy of a breakdown. Third, the golden HVAC rules. Fourth, the true cost of cooling. And finally, doing the job right. Let's start right at the top with Section 1, surviving the Texas heat. The climate here, it's basically the ultimate environmental villain in our story. You know, it's not just those blistering 100-degree summer days working against you. The local geography itself is literally compounding the threat. San Marcos sits right on limestone bedrock and caliche soil. So what happens is the ground absorbs the sun's heat all day long, like an oven, and then radiates it right back into your home well after the sun goes down. Add in the immense humidity rolling off the Edwards Aquifer and the San Marcos River corridor, and your system isn't just cooling the air anymore. It's fighting this massive, nonstop battle to pull thick, heavy moisture out of your living room. And get this, whether you live in a classic older home or a brand new build, your local architecture is directly fighting your AC. If you're in a 1960s pier and beam home near Texas State University, you're probably battling undersized, leaky ductwork, maybe even some rodent damage. But surprisingly, if you're in a brand new build east of Interstate 35, modern spray foam insulation creates such a tight building envelope that it could actually cause negative air pressure. It totally changes how the home breathes, meaning you need incredibly precise system balancing just to get the air flowing right. Okay, moving into Section 2, anatomy of a breakdown. Let's completely demystify exactly what goes wrong when that relentless climate finally pushes your system over the edge. The crucial takeaway here is that these aren't just random acts of bad luck. It's the environment talking. For example, the Edwards Aquifer's incredibly hard water doesn't just leave stubborn spots on your dishes. It literally chokes your AC's condensate drains with heavy mineral deposits and algae. Meanwhile, the extreme heat silently bakes and degrades your electrical capacitors until they fail without warning, leaving your outdoor unit just humming uselessly or totally dead. And that intense river humidity, it slowly corrodes the copper refrigerant lines and coil joints. This leads to these tiny, insidious leaks that just sap your system's cooling power over time. Let's shift gears to Section 3, the golden HVAC rules. I'm going to equip you with the expert heuristics you absolutely need to make smart, on-the-fly decisions when disaster strikes. Because let's face it, when you're sweating on your couch, you need facts, not panic. First up is what the pros call the 3-minute rule. This is a crucial behavioral standard for anyone operating a thermostat. It's super simple. If your AC shuts off, you have to wait 3 full minutes before restarting it. Why? Well, the system needs time to equalize the refrigerant pressure. If you try to restart an AC too fast, the compressor has to kick on against massive high pressure. This puts immense electrical strain on the whole system, and you're risking a catastrophic, incredibly expensive compressor burnout. In the Texas heat, I know it's so tempting to just flick it right back on the second you feel a warm draft, but patience literally pays off here. Next is a real game changer, the $5,000 rule. Pay close attention to this one because this is the ultimate insider secret for deciding when it's time to stop repairing and start replacing. Here's the math. You take the age of your unit in years and you multiply it by the cost of the repair you were just quoted. So if you've got a 12-year-old system facing a $500 repair, that equals $6,000. Because $6,000 is over that $5,000 threshold. Boom, the math makes the decision for you. You replace the unit. In a climate that stresses machinery this hard, this rule stops you from throwing bad money at outdated equipment that's basically guaranteed to fail again soon. That brings us to Section 4, the true cost of cooling. Building on those financial rules, let's look at the realities of equipment longevity and the investments required for true efficiency. In demanding environments with super high thermal loads, the average lifespan of an HVAC system is capped right around 12 to 15 years. Actually, scratch that. It's a maximum of 15 years, and that is only if it receives proper twice-yearly maintenance. Neglect it, and that timeline shrinks incredibly fast. Between the constant running, the coastal level humidity, and the dust from nearby limestone quarries, the wear and tear is just relentless. After 10 years, you are going to see efficiency plummet and repair bills spike. So, when it is time to buy a new one, whatever you do, do not let someone just guess the size of the unit based on a quick glance. A real professional uses what's called an ACCA Manual J load calculation. This is a precise engineering calculation that measures actual square footage, window orientation, insulation values, and specific climate data. If your system is undersized, it runs continuously and never actually cools the house. But if it's oversized, it short cycles. It blasts cold air briefly, but shuts off before dehumidifying the space, leaving your home feeling like a freezing, clammy swamp. Finally, Section 5, doing the job right. How do you actually know the job is being done to a professional standard, rather than just getting a temporary Band-Aid? Well, a legitimate service flow is 100% transparent, and it moves linearly through 3 steps. First, they schedule and actually diagnose the core problem, not just the symptom. Second, you approve a written estimate before a single tool is lifted, so there are 0 surprise fees. And then they execute the repair. Third, and honestly, most importantly, they test and verify. They actually sit there and run the system through complete cooling cycles, checking refrigerant pressures and airflow to ensure the fix is truly permanent. And backing up those steps are strict, non-negotiable industry standards. You want a technician who is NATE certified. That's the gold standard for competency. They absolutely must hold EPA Section 608 universal certification to legally handle sensitive refrigerants like R410A. Any major installation should definitely involve city permits to protect your property value. And hey, if ductwork is involved, demand that it's designed using ACCA manual decalculations and sealed with mastic paste, not that flimsy cloth tape that just literally melts and falls apart in the summer heat. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question. Is your HVAC system genuinely ready for its next 8-month marathon? Or are you just sort of waiting around for the next breakdown? Surviving extreme heat is not about luck. It is about preparation. Don't leave your comfort and your wallet to chance, folks. Be proactive, demand professional standards, and keep your home cool when it matters most. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.